Just go everywhere. You hold it like this. This is the weight, and this is the stabilization. And you see I'm using my arms together. So this is the weight. Don't do. This isn't the weight.
Not after focus.
You can focus yourself.
Yeah.
And it started.
Okay, one more back. Okay, so look here. Watch this, and now when you go and film your people, you haven't all chosen your people yet. You want to film somebody, you want to talk to Jim, you don't want to talk to Carl.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to try to make a film with Carl in it. Not that everybody has to be entertaining, but you have to find someone who can bring it alive in front of the camera. Otherwise, you're just fighting with them and you're pulling everything out. So that's who you want, you know? Now, did I know this? No. I mean, look, the whole reason I picked this band for us to do it is so we could make a movie from beginning to end together in 3 or 4 days. You know, we do the preparation, we look at the location, we say who these are, we get to know them better, we do the interview. Now, based on the interview, we're going to see, and tonight, but the same thing with your film. Don't pick somebody who's going to be, you know, an ashtray. You know?
But what about Jake?
What about him?
I mean, he's not so articulate,
Yeah.
but
he's
he's still like a mystery here.
Yeah, well, of course, we're going to show everybody in this, and hopefully we'll put this together in a way, a mosaic, that you can really feel the personalities coming together. And that will be interesting, you know? But,
And it started with 0 people.
see, now we like that.
0 that came out. Maybe the wife of somebody in the band was in the audience, but now I can guarantee that the place is going to be at least, you know, there's going to be a significant amount of people in there every week, which is humbling and great. You know, I used to hear about these types of residencies or these types of gigs coming up and going, boy, it'd be really cool to be a part of something like that, and here I am a part of something like that. So I'm super grateful for it.
Okay, so we can cut this down a little bit more. We can talk about humbling. Sophia is very into humility. I know that. So let's do that. But right now we'll just leave it like this. Okay? We know it starts from 0. We'll do that together. You know.
What sacrifices do you make to be in this movie? In the sense of how do you
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't get the out on this. Okay.
what sacrifices do you make to be in this movie? In the sense of what do you do to afford to be able to be in this movie?
Well,
I mean, you're
my-
not paying your rent.
no, but there are times where it's been good as a result of this band. We've hit some really strong.
Now here I'm seeing, I have to say here, I'd like to see more room to the left, not so centered. If he's looking, it's all about gestalt, you know, the way that things balance in a frame. Here, because he's looking to the left, you don't want him in the center. You want him more the space to where he's looking. Okay? Mm-hmm. And the more he looks to the left, the more, like if the camera is Luba there, if I'm looking just a little bit off to the side, then you put him a little bit off the center. If I'm looking more off the side, you have to put more space in front of him. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel right.
Shows, and we've, outside of our weekly gigs, some really strong private parties and stuff. Have become a little bit better financially within that. Well, I'm a musician, that's what I do. So, to think this is any less of a risk to be a part of this is just to be a part of life, I guess, right? So, this isn't any bigger of a risk than choosing music as a career anyways. You know, and that really hasn't, I always say to people who think about choosing the arts, it's no different than anything else. You just have to work hard and show up. Do what you want to do. You know.
I think he was saying that he was talking to Oleg there. Hold on a second. There you go, Oleg.
It's no different than anything.
If you choose the arts.
I always say to people who think
it's not
about
for this film, but it's good advice.
choosing the arts. it's no different than anything else. You just have to work hard and show up, and you get to do what you want to do. You know, it's not, the formula isn't any different. So if you work hard, and I believe I have worked hard over the years, to where my rent is paid, the food's in the fridge, there's a little bit in the bank, you know, and I'm moving forward.
What else would you say to us that let's talk about these two songs that will make
Okay, so now we're getting to the song.
Josh's Bossa, and
Sure.
just anything you want to say about it.
So maybe, you know, maybe this is, so we just need one thing for each song, just to get us into the song when we're hearing it, you know? Okay.
But these are just strong, this is strong material. This goes to what I'm saying about these guys in the band pushing it ahead, because they're bringing their own music. These are original compositions. One is by Carl the Chateau 22, and then Bossa Lola, which was settled on a name finally. Bossa Lola is a composition by Josh Workman. And so, and these will be on a record that we're putting out summer or Christmas time.
Maybe we can, anyway, let's just see.
But these songs are just significant because I sometimes in the live show like not announcing who wrote it.
There's
Just
too much
because I know
detail, but
people
we
want
might need this. We're gonna
strong,
save this
solid
anyway.
jazz songs, period.
I don't. Do you remember the first time you heard Django music? Can you talk about that?
Well, as a drummer, you know, I'm not, you know, it's like Django wasn't in my back pocket like Buddy Rich is in my back pocket, right? Like I listened to Buddy Rich my whole life, so I wasn't as aware of Django until probably in my 40s, where I heard other people talk about it. I'm a music investigator. If I hear somebody talk about something, I guarantee I'm going to go home and listen to it, because I want to know what inspires people. I want to know what gets them going. And so I started hearing about Django Reinhardt and stuff. Certainly the Woody Allen film, which I forget the name of, but I know he did a film about Django. And so then that's how it was just through listening to what people talk about what inspires them, and I started listening to it. And now a lot of Django stuff doesn't have drums, especially the classic stuff. He wasn't a band that had drums. That's why he had the third guitar for rhythm playing. So I kind of had to find how I was going to play it within there. And I just mimicked the rhythm guitar player through my brushes, and that's how that is. But, you know, there you go.
So I guess last question, one second to last question. What's the challenge of keeping this group together? What's the challenge of what's the future?
Well, anything with consistent personalities is a challenge, right? Anything with human beings that you see each time
This is a good one.
is a challenge.
Yeah, but it's too long. I don't know that he can say, I don't know that it's, well, listen, I don't think.
With consistent personalities is a challenge, right? Anything with human beings that you see each time is a challenge, right? Because you want to keep this group together, so you got to work with people, you know, and people will say the same about me. You know, we all got to just work together because we know that together we're stronger than, we're stronger together than our individual parts.
Okay, maybe that's right, yeah, okay, let's do that.
What? We're stronger together we're stronger together than our individual parts. I think that there's something here that has a spark, has a lift off. And so, so you just gotta, and especially as time goes on, you just gotta work with personalities. And that's
Okay, so we'll take it after the liftoff. Sasha was not happy with that, she didn't.
I think he will not use it eventually.
Well,
we're
maybe
stronger
this part,
together
just,
than our individual
let's just say,
parts.
let's just say.
I think that there's something here that has a spark, has a lift off.
You see, now, I don't know, we might use that.
There's some things here that has a
And
spark
so,
needed, but the individual
so you
parts,
just
I
gotta,
think it
and
doesn't sound
especially
good.
as time goes on, you just gotta work with personalities, and that's fine. That's life, right? And so what made you upset yesterday doesn't make you upset today. Same thing about what made you happy yesterday may not make you happy today. So, and the future is sure, you know, onwards and upwards in any way, musically, in our audience. You know, the record that we're creating right now, I'm very proud of. You know, I'd like to see you know, I'd love maybe a label to pick it up, a booking agent, that sort of thing, so a good publicist or whatever to build the business further. If none of that comes true, then just make the music better, better and better and better, and then I'll stay forever. You know, all the other stuff can come and go, but the music keeps getting better. I'll be there every Monday night.
Okay, that's not bad. If the music keeps getting better.
Forever. You know, all the other stuff can come and go, but the music keeps getting better.
Okay.
Music keeps getting better. I'll be there every Monday night.
Anything else to say?
No, but thank you. You guys are
Okay. This one we don't
Get
want.
happy today. So, and
Yeah, we don't need that. Oh, what was that? Did I lose everything? No, that was right. Okay. Yeah, no, when it went away, once it went away, we showed up the other. Okay. Okay, this one we don't want, right?
then that's how I found it, was just through listening to what people talk about, what inspires them. And then I started listening to it. And a lot of Django stuff doesn't have drums, especially the classic stuff. It wasn't a band that had drums. That's why you had the third guitar for rhythm playing. So I kind of, but these songs are just significant because I sometimes.
Push autofocus. I don't know.
How could it's all
I
this?
We're gonna have dinner.
this.
So is it like this the whole thing, or did you just,
Yeah,
the whole thing is like this?
Sorry, весь кадр такой.
No. 5 minutes.
There we got it. Okay, okay.
No, it's I searched where is this button, but I don't know your.
The Hot Tub of Los Angeles started as simply a Facebook post. A friend of mine, who's a musician, his name was Jesse, put up, hey, I want to get people over to my house, we're going to have dinner, and we're going to work on some Django material, and some stuff he had in his repertoire. So that's how it started. And so a few guys went over to Jesse's house, he cooked a beautiful meal, we sat around in his living room, and we played music. And so we did that for about a month. Then we realized, okay, enough for a gig. We had no destination. We were just doing it to have fun, and then we said, well, let's go play this for something. And that's how the band started.
So, you know, newer cameras, they do have, like if you have a Sony camera, like this camera with the Sony lens, it does look at face recognition and you can trust it. But generally, you know,
Am I too loud?
you want the machine, it's AI. You want the machine to think for you, or you want to do it yourself?
Too loud.
No, it's in focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's happened in those 10 years?
Well, what's happened in 10 years, 12 years we've been doing it, 10, 12 years we've been doing it. What's happened is the band went from something where people got together to something that was kind of sought after, where the musicianship went up, the repertoire got better, and
Well, we can maybe start there. The musicianship went up. Let's see if that's good.
went up.
We'll start there.
Where the musicianship went up, the repertoire got better, and over the years, instead of it getting stale, the band just continued to get better. And that's what I love about it, because it's a challenge. Every Monday that I'm there playing at the Cinema Barn, I have to bring my A game, because this is something that hits the ground running every week.
But now this is good. You know,
Where
he
the music-
like, first of all, he's articulate.
Mm-hmm.
He uses words very well. You know, he uses idiomats. You know, I have to bring my A game. That means, you know, Major League NBA. I have to be that level. And, you know, hit the ground running. You know, it's like you fall off a truck and you have to be running before, you know. So that gives images.
Musicianship went up, the
I'm gonna
repertoire got
start a
better.
little later.
And over the years, instead of it getting stale, the band just continued to get better. And that's what I love about it, because
That's what I love about it.
like
Oops, sorry.
where And that's what I love.
Okay.
Uh,
He looks like a rabbi, huh?
Rebbe.
Yeah, rabbi, yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's the beard, it's the beard and the hat and the suit, you know? If he wasn't wearing a
That's
suit.
what I love about it, because it's a challenge. Every Monday that I'm there playing at the cinema bar, I have to bring my A game, because this is something that hits the ground running every week, which is, it would never last otherwise if it wasn't challenging to the players that are in it.
Whoa, wow, now that's good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You know when it's good, right? You can feel it. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I want
Talk
to.
about those players. What does everybody bring to this tour? Who brings what?
Everybody brings something strong. You know, Paul Ekman on the upright bass, you're not gonna, he cuts through those strings like butter. He is a master, world-class musician.
Okay, don't do that. Okay, that's because that's what you know. Matthew.
Paul Ekman on the Paul Ekman.
He's not.
Oops, what happened? What did I do? Oh, what happened?
Странно.
Мандарин.
Okay, here we go.
Или сделал.
И вот это, знаете, когда стыдно стало.
You want mandarins? They're out front. What the hell is going on here? Oh, there's a, what? Whoa. I don't get it. Okay.
Paul, the upright bass, you're not gonna, he cuts through those strings like butter. He is a master, came along and I would say saved the band in his own way. We were looking for another lead chair player and he kind of fell out of the sky and boom, we're better.
So it's like all the ways, just the ways he talks. He fell out of the sky. He saved the band. I mean, this is very different from Carl Van. You know, it's like,
Colorful.
yeah.
And Jake is a rock. Jake is beautiful.
I'm gonna just keep
He's,
this all together.
The first one there, he's the last one to leave. He's a hell of a musician. Solid rhythm player. His solos are wonderful, but what he brings rhythmically is spot on. And Carl, my partner in crime in this, he's world class. He is amazing. And he kind of guides the band in a musical direction. And it's like having a band with three or four music nerds. I feel like I'm just there as a guest. And sometimes they all have something that they bring and everybody just wants it to be better. And that is sometimes our speed bump, but most times it helps us, you know, it puts us on a trajectory.
Okay.
Then that they bring and everybody just wants it to be better.
Okay.
And
Okay. So you guys need to take a break? Is that what we need? Let's get through this and then we can take a break, okay? There's not that much more. He's the last one. We'll take a break and then, you know, you can smoke. There's a cigarette. There's an ashtray outside.
I suppose you can change your glasses, but what's
but
different?
it's daylight. It's daylight.
Talk about your role in the band as the communicator and verbal.
I had to, as the principals that started it, sort of, left the band, somebody had to steer the ship because everything needs
I
to
don't
be...
think we really need this. I don't think we need this. First of all, it's always better to have someone else talk about you than you talk about yourself. You know, many years ago, I interviewed Steven Spielberg, and I was very concerned because I don't like him, I don't like his movie, not him personally, I don't know him personally, I hate his movies. So I was afraid he would figure that out. But he would never talk about himself. But he was willing to talk about someone who he worked with. So the same thing here. I mean, first of all, we don't really have time, we don't care that he's a jokester. So we're just gonna say goodbye to this. But generally, yeah.
I love doing it. I think
Joker.
about it
Funny.
when I'm not doing it, what I could possibly...
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I always love, it's funny, when you see him here, he's really gonna be different tonight. There's a little more character
Django
in him.
Reinhardt
Even
band.
though he's behind.
We absolutely tip our hats
Okay.
Starting with something, and anyway, talk about that. What is it about this?
Well, we're not a traditional Django Reinhardt band. We absolutely tip our hats to him, right, and what he created. However, we want to play other kinds of music. These gypsy jazz, bluegrass, music like that, they have traditionalists where you can't go outside of that box. And that's great because that keeps the tradition alive. However, there's other bands that like to see what, if Django was alive today, he wouldn't be playing his old repertoire. He would be pushing it forward. So we just try to, it's not that it sounds a little bit boasting, like we're pushing it forward, but we're really not. We're just we're using that instrumentation and playing different types of music with it. And so, as much as we, I don't even know where my thought was going there. That's it.
Well,
I think
there's something in there. We might not need it, but there's something in there. But by the way, before we I just want to show one thing real quick. Look at this. If we were doing him and when we had the peaking on, the peaking is the red. You can make it different colors too. I make it red so you can see it. This would all be red. This would all be red.
Yeah.
It would be very red, and so would a lot of his beard would be red. You know, and you'd see a little bit of red on here. You'd certainly see it there where it's white and black right there.
But we need.
So this to me is a very good image, all right? He's, you know, the light is coming from this side, so it's giving a little bit of light in his eyes. They're alive. Unlike with Carl, there was no light in his eyes. Also, he's brighter than the back. Even though there's highlights here, you know where to look. Now, certainly, his hat helps focus the face, right? The hat says, look here. It's like a target. But still, this is something, he's brighter, he's more colorful than the background. The background is, we know he's in a nice place, but it's out of focus, it's not distracting. But it's not too far out of focus, you know? Anyway.
I think starting from if Django was alive today, because before
Yeah,
it
well,
was
let's watch it again. And also, for me, you guys, I like a little less headroom, all right? I like less headroom. I would bring this down. If we were shooting 4K, I would push in. I'm afraid to do it here because we will, you know, if you shoot 4K, you can move in on the image very easily. But it's okay. But generally, yeah, a little more headroom than, let's see what the other shot looks like right now. Yeah, that one's okay. Okay, I don't want this though. I want this like this. Okay. Oh, come on now. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're going to listen to this again?
We're not a traditional Django Reinhardt band. We absolutely tip our hats to him, right, and what he created. However, we want to play other kinds of music. These gypsy jazz, bluegrass, music like that, they have traditionalists where you can't go outside of that box. And that's great because that keeps the tradition alive.
That's actually very good, but it's not, it's very good, but it's not for this film.
No.
Because it's not, it's saying what they aren't, but it's, you know.
There's other bands that like to see what, if Django was alive today, he wouldn't be playing his old repertoire. He would be pushing it forward. So we just try to, it's not that it sounds a little bit boasting. Like
Now, I'm a little afraid of using Django Reinhardt's name too many times, because we're not really saying who he is. And we don't want to put a, you know, so I think we can only use his name once in context where people understand. And let's just
pushing it forward, but we're really not. We're just playing, we're using that instrumentation and playing different types of music with it. And so, as much as we, I don't even know where my thought was going there.
He's kind of all over. I'm gonna.
What about the audience? What's in it for them?
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do with this one.
Where my thought was going.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it, but I'm going to change it to disable. So that it's, oh, that's not what I meant, ooh, wrong, bad,
But
bad,
you can
bad.
cut it and then we
I have to cut it, I didn't cut it, sorry. There we go. So what I'll do here is I will, I'll turn it so that it's disabled, so we'll know if we need it, it's there, but, you know, okay?
What's in it for them?
This is the audience now.
The audience has been terrific. We have people that come every week. We have people that stop by. We have people that, there's a couple that flies in every winter from Minnesota
Too much
to come
information.
here every Monday.
Very
to come
important,
to
but
the
too
cinema
much.
every Monday. So our relationship with the audience is, they want to listen. They want to go on this sort of ride with us every week. It's something, it's such an off night, Monday night, but it brings a certain, it's not the typical cinema bar crowd. It's a different crowd that comes out to hear us. And it's strong, you know, something, and it started with 0 people. 0.
This is
That came out, maybe the wife or somebody in the band.
Okay.
Typical cinema bar.
You know,
It's
I
not
mean,
the typical cinema bar crowd. It's a different crowd that comes out to hear us. And it's strong, you know, something, and it started with
in a row? Okay, I'm
Camera,
gonna
sound.
start recording this.
Мотор, ролик.
Okay,
camera
we're
rolling, sound
yeah.
rolling.
Yeah, are you watching your sound levels in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good? Okay. Okay, go ahead. This is Bill. Okay, go ahead. So-
Okay, please introduce yourself and tell us a little about your role in this project.
Well, my name is Bill Magalos, and I designed this program. I'm going to fire the designer. He did a very crazy job. No, I thought of the idea. I've been doing films like this, projects like this, bringing filmmakers from other countries so that they can see some of the ways that we do things in Hollywood. Not exactly Hollywood, but the American technique. I'm much more concerned about documentaries. Documentaries are what's important for me. So
Once again, what is this project all about? What's the project about?
So the project is, we started out, so the United States, the embassy in Moscow wanted to have a program that keeps individuals talking to individuals outside the government, citizen to citizen engagement and cultural exchange. And so we thought we could do this with film. We had to come up with an idea of something that happened in both countries. Back in the 1950s, in the Cold War, jazz was an American export that went to Russia and became very beloved in Russia. Russians really said, wow, this is great. Because why is it great? They got to see the greatest jazz musicians of all time. Dizzy Gillespie and Duke Ellington and even Louis Armstrong. And they really identified with the music, and Russian jazz has been developing on its own. It's in some ways it's more popular in Russia than it is in the United States now. It's a generational thing, and jazz audiences are older, and it's not a commercial music here. So we thought, well, this maybe is a common starting place. So we started looking for filmmakers who would be interested in making films like this. It was very important to us that we had a diversity, that we had different ethnic groups, that we had some parity, gender parity, that it wasn't all males or all females. We wanted people from different regions of Russia, didn't just want the Moscow intelligentsia or the St. Petersburg elites. We wanted people from everywhere. And so we did a search throughout the whole country. And once this was a sign off by the embassy, they said yes, let's fund this project. They said, well, you know, climate change is a big thing too. So can you just have some of the movies be climate change movies? So the idea here is that we would, in the course of this project, we would take films from beginning to end that mattered to the filmmakers. We would have them find their own subjects. Some of them would be about music, and some of them would be about climate change. And they will all be regional. The people from Novosibirsk would be making films about people from Novosibirsk. The Buryat from Ulan-Ude, they would be making films about their area. and we decided to put people together in teams of 2 so that they could support each other and learn to hate each other. And so I'm just going to ignore this because this doesn't really matter. This is a practice. Anyway, so that's the idea. You don't see the cable there?
Don't see.
Really? Wow. Okay, so
Are you working the couple
but we're not really, I'm not. I think you should. Let's cut this now. Shall we cut it? Just for a minute. Just yeah.
Rolling.
Okay. Go ahead.
Нормально?
Yeah. Slight. Okay. So again, this is just practice. Oh, like not at the camera. This guy right here. Thank you. So you could take your hat off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And then we can see a little more of your face. So let me ask you a question. So tell me in a few, it makes it easier if the other person asks you a question, then it doesn't sound like you are preparing a speech,
Okay.
right? So Alec, tell me about your film in a few words and why it's a good idea for a film. What drew you to this film subject?
Now I make decision that I will be filming a story about the Krasnodar Big Band, George Garanyan Big Band, because the now jazz in our country is really in the big trouble because of the politics situation, because of the relationship between the America and Russia. And I want to ask some musicians which are working 15-20 years in the jazz industry what's happening now and what they are waiting for to see how this project can be developed in the future, because we're celebrating 100 years of the Russian jazz and nobody knows what can be a future.
Can you say that in 1/4 of the time? My film, jazz is one of my loves, but I see that it's in danger at this point because of the political situation. And so I'm going to be interviewing a couple local musicians and talking to them about the challenges that they are facing and how they can move forward.
Do you want me in Russian or do you want me in English?
Say it in Russian, say it in English, sure. But say it like this because no one's going to listen to. You have to learn how to tell you. It's like a pitch, like a log line. Yeah?
Я много лет занимаюсь джазом, и на сегодняшний день, участвуя в этом проекте, я хочу снять фильм о музыкантах биг-бенда Георгия Garanяна в Краснодаре, потому что ситуация развития джазовой музыки в России под большим вопросом. Несмотря на то, что мы празднуем столетие российского джаза, возможно, будущее этого проекта будет заключаться в том, насколько отношения между Россией и Америкой будут развиваться в дальнейшем, потому что очень важно, чтобы люди общались между собой.
1/2 the time. Do it one more time. Half as long.
The less than this.
Yeah, half. 1/2.
Я планирую снимать фильм в Краснодаре о джазовых музыкантах биг-бенда краснодарского Георгия Арамовича Garanяна и планирую спросить у них о том, насколько джазовая ситуация в России развивается.
Why are you the right person to make this film? No, keep it rolling. Why are you the right person to make this film?
Я хочу снять фильм о
Don't look over there. If you look there, it looks like you are trying to remember what you have to say. As opposed to look here, look at me. And you're having a conversation. You're talking to your friend and your tormentor.
Я хочу снять фильм о музыкантах из краснодарского биг-бенда Георгия Арамовича Garanяна, которые сейчас испытывают определенные проблемы, реализовывая свои джазовые амбиции. Что нас ждет в ближайшем будущем, неизвестно, потому что отношения между Америкой, которая является родиной американского джаза, довольно сложные в отношениях с Россией. Американский, это too much words. I cannot speak in the very short
Well, that's
way.
what you have to practice. That's your job as a filmmaker. Your job is not only to make the film, it's to present your film and to get people to watch your film. So that's what you have to work on. And that's what your partner helps you do. Your partner says, okay, half the time. What's the important part? Can someone help Oleg say what he has to say? Luba, tell him how to say it shorter. Yeah. Right here?
Okay, we stop then, stop.
Okay, in front of him. Closer in front of him. Yeah, there you go. Iris is here.
Why?
You put it on auto. You see how you put.
Хлопушка у тебя была или что?
Блин, давайте
Второй
снова
тейк,
фокус.
давайте второй тейк.
What happened?
Maybe.
What?
It's okay,
He
second
don't
take.
roll in.
He
София,
can roll. He
можешь
can
ты
roll
снять? Я
anytime.
не
Yeah.
доверяю
Давай, я
оператору Эдику.
сниму. Эдик.
Эдик, отдай Софии, пожалуйста.
Все, он пишет, он больше не будет.
Я не хочу.
Ты писал до этого, да?
Мы писали, сдвинулось.
С самого начала?
Да.
С самого начала?
Мы готовы, да,
Okay,
да,
guys. While
да.
we're still middle-aged.
Rolling.
Нажал?
Зачем с ногами?
It's too much.
Hi, tell me
Hi.
about yourself a little bit.
My name is Vasily, I'm 35. I was born in Tomsk in Siberia, but now I live in Moscow.
What is your film about?
My film about a Russian guy, his name is Ivan Ivanovich. It's quite a usual Russian name, but his appearance not so common in Russia because he's a black guy and he's an orphan as well. And he's an actor and a singer. If you be more specific, he's a tenor. He wants to sing in an opera, but he has to provide for his family and he's struggling to earn money doing acting in shitty Russian series. And he's a father. When he was younger, he rejected a lot of offers to take roles in this shitty series, but now he should work to provide for his family.
Why is it important or interesting to tell this story?
Because I have quite similar situation. I want to make movies, but instead of it, I editing some stupid projects just to earn money. I'm not doing what I really want, what I love and passionate about. I think it's quite the same. Different art, but the team really connected to me.
Someone else should operate the camera too, not only Roman. After this one, someone else, yeah?
Готовы? Давайте снимем уже.
На уровне груди поближе. Yeah. Камера. Rolling.
Софи, снимаешь?
Сейчас тихо.
Господа.
Расскажи, пожалуйста, кто ты такой.
Меня зовут Эдуард, я представляю «Цыган России». Сейчас мы находимся в Лос-Анджелесе, и в скором времени я собираюсь снимать влияние джазовой музыки и как оно повлияло на цыган в России.
Почему именно эта тема выбрана для фильма?
Потому что джаз очень сильно изменил звучание музыкантов, он очень сильно поменял структуру танцев у цыган в России. Также произошли видоизменения в плане звучания какого? Именно саунда. То есть не просто люди выходят сейчас и играют там под гитары, под скрипки, там, ну как это, да, обычно в России было испокон веков. А именно уже делают, выпускают альбомы с джазовыми музыкантами, меняют структуру музыки и песен и танцев.
Скажи, пожалуйста, для кого это кино?
Это кино для тех людей, которые хотели бы познакомиться с новым творчеством цыган в России.
Okay, so what did you learn in this program in Los Angeles?
Сейчас мы изучаем...
Let's wait for this play.
Окей.
You know, when you live here, you don't hear it anymore until you bring out the camera. Like I'm in the house, I don't think about it, but now I hear it. Okay, so what did you learn about this what did you learn from this What's the single most important thing you learned about this program?
Сейчас я изучаю, как правильно снимать фильмы, а именно документальные фильмы. Мы обучаемся в Нью-Йоркской академии в городе Лос-Анджелес. На самом деле это очень интересно, потому что то, что мы приобретаем, впоследствии, естественно, хотелось бы применить в своей работе над документальным фильмом.
Say it again. I don't want to hear about the New York Film League. I want to hear what you learned, not the explanation not the description. What did you learn? What's the most important thing you learned?
Мы изучаем навыки, как правильно снимать документальные фильмы, как использовать всевозможные скиллы для того, чтобы фильм был удачным, успешным и был интересным.
What's your biggest challenge making the film you want to make? What's the hardest thing about the film what's the thing that you're most afraid of to make the film?
Я думаю, что этот фильм, он поменяет, в принципе, представление о цыганах в России после того, как я его сниму.
А что для тебя самое страшное в кинопроизводстве?
Ну, скажем, нет такого понятия, что страшно, но мне интересно, и я думаю, что то потраченное время, которое будет, оно будет, скажем так, успеху, моему успеху, успеху тех людей, которые участвуют в этом проекте, потому что я снимаю этот фильм не один, у меня есть партнер, его зовут Нарок, и мы вместе будем делать классное кино. Начнем с маленького фильма, с маленького документального фильма, а дальше будем двигаться дальше.
Is it a good answer?
He's mostly selling like general.
Yeah, so you have to be personal with this. You're selling yourself and your people. We don't want to hear the history and, unless it's a personal connection. One of the things I think would be good for you to say or question that I think for me is always, my biggest fear is, am I representing the people I am filming for who they are? Or am I trying to put my own ideas on them?
Я что-то неправильно выразился, я же примерно так же и сказал.
Ты просто, какими-то общими словами говоришь, что вот, у нас такие скиллы, а ты говори про себя.
А как он понял, какими словами говорит?
I think it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's cut. Let's put someone else in. Narek, you want to sit in there?
Rolling.
Нарек, привет. Расскажи, пожалуйста, о своем фильме, над которым вы работаете вместе с Эдуардом.
Я на самом деле, мне когда Эдуард скинул тему про то, как цыгане повлияли на джазовую музыку, я немножко скептически к этому отнесся, но как бы с первого раза, но исследовав эту историю в интернете, наткнулся на некоторые документы, правда, без всякого. И мне она показалась очень интересной. Эта история будет о том, как вообще, в принципе, как цыгане.
Don't worry about that.
Заново, да?
Don't worry.
Just let's wait. Okay, start.
Заново?
Ты знаешь, лучше, наверное, не использовать цыгане, потому что могут быть какие-то вопросы.
А есть у нас тема такая, как мы можем не использовать цыгане?
Ромские народы. Смотри сам, могут быть вопросы.
Эдик использовал цыгане.
Да, но...
Цыганский народ.
Все, вы имеете в виду сам сленг?
Термин, да.
Цыгане, окей. Заново, да?
Дубль 2 или...
Да, давайте дубль 2.
Нет, идет камера, можно дальше.
Все? Скажи, пожалуйста, как тебе работает с Эдиком, с Эдуардом в команде?
На самом деле, когда изначально... Всем привет, меня зовут Нарек. На самом деле, когда... А мне нужно, представляться, говорить, откуда я и так далее?
Ну, в идеале.
Почему, когда я сел, вертолет отсюда, самолет, блядь, сейчас поезд такой, я...
И ракета, блядь, прилетит, которую мы ждем.
Сейчас этот фургон начинает заводиться, знаете? Это пиздец просто.
Сейчас,
давай еще раз, еще раз.
Подожди, почему-то опять...
Да, но не хватает мне внимания.
Ром, подойди, пожалуйста.
Да, давай.
Я думаю, вдруг диафрагма.
Спасибо.
Я хотела...
Давай еще раз.
Она на
Давай.
автомат переключилась. Подожди.
Подоткрыться или подзакрыться?
Вот так, мне кажется, хорошая экспозиция. Да? Все,
Ты можешь.
Может, караоке?
На английском будет петь Нью-Йорк.
Мы готовы.
Поехали.
Нарик, расскажи, пожалуйста, о себе, чем ты занимаешься, как ты сюда попал.
Круто. Крутой вопрос, на самом деле. Длинная история, но я постараюсь очень коротко на нее ответить. Меня зовут Нарек, мне 26 лет. Я из города Краснодар, Россия. Совершенно случайно сюда попал, чему безмерно рад, счастлив. Вообще спасибо за такую возможность. Это было круто. И круто со всеми моими одногруппниками познакомиться и со всеми преподавателями. Это прям большой, супер такой крутой экспириенс. Вот. Я работаю в команде с Эдуардом. У него такая интересная тема, как джазовая музыка повлияла на цыганский народ. Я изначально вообще к этому отнесся скептически, но исследовав некоторые документы в интернете, с большим удовольствием начал углубляться в это. Вот, поэтому мы нашли общий язык, и все будет круто.
Вы уже были знакомы с Эдуардом до этого проекта?
Нет. Я вообще Эдуарду сказал, что он один из самых недооцененных персонажей, которых я знаю. И об этом мне сказал Билл еще во время зума, поэтому мы еще увидим, что будет впереди.
А для кого вы снимаете ваш фильм? Кто ваш зритель?
В первую очередь, наверное, мы снимаем для людей, которым интересна вообще тема джаза, потому что это все будет приурочено к столетию джаза в России. Это наши первые зрители. Вот, а дальше мы уже будем использовать всю аудиторию мою, Эдуарда и наших всех людей, которые следят за нами. Вот.
Как вы думаете, за рубежом будут ли заинтересованы в вашем фильме?
Я думаю, да, потому что, как мне кажется, это слияние народов в неком смысле, потому что в этом участвуют сразу много национальностей. Те люди, которые нас сюда пригласили, я, будучи россиянином, но из корней, я армянин, Эдуард, который является представителем цыганского народа. Мне кажется, это супер большое сообщество разных национальностей и стран, которые будут поддерживать. Вот.
Как бы ты хотел, как думаешь, какой должен быть основной месседж вашего фильма?
Основной месседж нашего фильма, наверное, заключается в том, что не существует языка, не существует национальности в той или иной тематике музыки, типа джаза, либо поп-музыка, либо андеграунд, техно. Не существует языка, не существует национальности. Вот это основной месседж, мне кажется.
Дарек, я желаю вам удачи снять этот фильм.
Спасибо.
Спасибо за беседу.
Спасибо.
Спасибо all of you. Let's see what say rec there.
Yeah.
На английском?
Идет?
Хорошо.
Саш, идет? Сейчас, подождите.
Нет.
Все.
Да, так меньше места над головой.
Сейчас, одну секундочку.
This is the lock here. Okay.
Сейчас, одну секундочку. Камера есть?
Там у тебя?
Да.
Hi Lev, could you please tell about yourself?
Okay, my name is Lev. I'm a composer and audio engineer from Novosibirsk, Russia, and we're going to a film in our city, Novosibirsk.
So please tell us how to be the youngest in the team.
It's nice. I don't feel the difference between us, and I like to think that other participants of our team have a lot of experience, and of course I can take this experience for myself.
What is the main discovery of their project?
The main discovery of the project is that here in the United States, on the other end of Earth, we've got the same people that in Siberia.
Could you please tell about your
Let's
film
wait for
project?
this plane. Let's ask that question again.
Okay.
When it's a little bit quieter. You are very quiet when you speak. You are very quiet. Maybe you speak up just a little, as if you knew that there were airplanes and you wanted her to hear you. Okay, just a little bit louder might help against the planes. Okay, ask that question again. And I think it was not focused. The answer was not focused, or I don't know. What was the question? Say this fast? Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the main discovery for you of being here?
In the program.
In the program,
What
yes.
did you learn the most from this program? Or what's your biggest takeaway? We call it takeaway. What's your takeaway from this program?
From this program, I took away the language of documentary filming. Now I know how documentary directors feel the stories, feel the camera while film production. Yeah.
Have you ever worked before in a documentary filmmaking, or is it your first experience?
No, it's not my first experience in documentary, but earlier I worked as audio engineer, and now I'm getting the skills of directing.
Could you please tell a couple of words about your project that you are preparing with Ksenia, your colleague?
My partner is Ksenia. She's also from Novosibirsk, and we are preparing a documentary film about jazz musicians in our city in Novosibirsk.
Was it your idea to propose the project?
It was our idea.
What is the most challenging in collaboration with the colleague?
The most challenging thing in collaboration with Ksenia is to find the problem and to find the theme. But we've already done with it. Yeah, and, now we only just organize the production stage.
Who do you think is going to watch your film?
Our как зритель.
Audience.
Maybe put it a little more. Who is this? Who is this film? Who is the audience of your film? Who are you making this film for? You know, who will enjoy your film? Any one of those answers.
Our audience is a group of musicians, not only in Novosibirsk, but in Russia, in many regions, because a lot of people want to take. A lot of people want to make music and jazz music, and it's very hard to do it in regions. Our audience is musicians in regions.
Hopefully your project will be inspiring for other young musicians in Russia and abroad. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Good.
Смотри в камеру.
Да.
Готово.
Okay, after the plane. Yeah. Are you recording on your recorder? Okay.
Еще раз
It's
камеру.
Harrison Ford.
Все начинаем, да? С самого начала.
Hi Harrison.
Я не...
I'm waiting Indiana Jones.
Ready?
Камера, мотор. Камера есть.
Представьтесь, пожалуйста.
Меня зовут Власов Роман, я режиссер, документалист из Екатеринбурга.
С какими сложностями вы столкнулись с тем, выбирая своих героев для фильма?
Ну, я не столкнулся со сложностями, я сразу нашел нашего героя Николая Шабневича. Это уникальный персонаж, на примере которого мы хотим поговорить об идентичности уральской музыки, о которой никто не знает в России.
Turn a little bit more towards him. Then it looks like you're really talking to him. Otherwise, you look like you're looking away.
Как ты, насколько сложно тебе уместить большую историю в 8-10 минут?
Ну, это большой челлендж, потому что никто не знает, все знают Москву, все знают Санкт-Петербург и музыкальную сцену этих городов, но никто не знает региональную ситуацию. И довольно сложно рассказать о большой такой теме, как уральская музыка за 8 минут. Это действительно челлендж, но мы постараемся сделать это.
Кто может являться твоими зрителями? Для кого ты снимаешь фильм?
Ну, на самом деле, моими зрителями могут быть абсолютно любой человек, кто интересуется музыкой и кто включен в русскую культуру, потому что это очень-очень важный пласт целой истории. У нас там есть уральский кюр, у нас есть очень много важных знаковых музыкантов, которые переселились в разные страны мира, в разные другие города, и, конечно же, это супер-супер важно.
Считаю, вполне достаточно.
Are we happy with these answers?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah? Everybody else? Anybody else have an answer for him, but answer to...
Не,
Можно я спрошу?
But don't answer to Oleg. Yeah.
Каково тебе работать в партнерстве со своей женой над этим фильмом? Тяжело ли это или легко?
Работать с Любой Кабалиновой — это и большое удовольствие, и большой вызов, потому что это сложно, но с другой стороны это всегда наполняет вдохновением, поскольку иногда мы конкурируем, а иногда мы, наоборот, дополняем друг друга, потому что кто-то сильнее в какой-то своей собственной сфере, но я счастлив, что я делаю этот фильм вместе с Любой Кабалиновой.
Okay, good. Cut. Let's, Sasha.
Camera rolling.
Okay. Okay.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Yes. Camera rolling, sound.
Прекрасно.
Sure. Wait. If you do that, you can't see it. It's a blur. You don't move this. You move the top, okay?
Okay.
So, like that. If you go like that, you'll never see. You won't see. No, it's done. It's okay now.
Okay.
But you won't. But if you do that, the camera will blur it. And you won't be able to see the moment that it hits.
Типа, да?
Да.
Okay.
Okay, you don't. Okay.
Starting.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Sasha. Please tell us about yourself.
My name is Sasha. I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm a DP, Director of Photography.
So, tell us about your project. What is it gonna be?
Me and Sofia Melikova, we are planning to do a movie about volunteer firefighters who work in a beautiful region near St. Petersburg. It's Lake Ladoga, and they extinguish wildfires.
Maybe there was some problems to work with somebody like Sofia.
Well, we didn't start.
No, let's not. You should follow up. Somehow I want to hear a little bit more about these fires.
Okay.
You know, what are the problems with the fires? What are the problems that these firefighters face? What are they going through?
Tell us what's the problem about these fires and lake.
Well, wildfires, it's actually a problem around the world, and people are burning grass in spring times. It's also a big problem because normal people believe that burning grass in spring is very good for soil. But actually it's not good because there's a lot of carbon dioxide and it's not good for nature. And so the group of volunteer firefighters, they actually, this is a big part of their work. In spring they talk to people and ask them to stop burning grass, but it doesn't work all the time because people argue with them and continue burning grass. And then in the summer they move to the Ladoga Lake region and they live there, and they also extinguish fires because there are lots of fires in this beautiful place.
Good. This is good practice for learning how to tell your story, isn't it? I mean, you just to hear it, you hear how it comes out. Let me ask you a question here, just to talking about what you learned here in America. What is the difference? Maybe whether you learned it here or not. You are an accomplished cinematographer for for dramatic films. What are you learning that is so different about documentaries?
Yes, that's a very good question. The difference between working as a DP for feature movies, for commercial movies, and for, is it right to say commercial movies? Maybe I'll start again.
Yeah, start again and say fictional or dramatic movies. You know,
fictional,
something.
Dramatic
yeah,
movies.
yeah, something like that.
So there's a big difference between filming fictional and dramatic movies and documentary movies for me, because as a DP working in feature films, I know that everything depends on my work, and I can change anything in the frame actually. So I have a big team, I have a gaffer, I have my camera crew, I have the director I work with, I have the costume designer, I have the set designer, and we can do anything. We can change the color of walls, we can change the locations, and here in documentary filmmaking, it's absolutely, you have to find the angles, and you have to, like our master Bill Megalis, he said that in documentary filmmaking, God directs the process. in feature filmmaking, you're kind of the God, so you can direct everything. So I understand what he means by this phrase. So it's very hard for me to start understanding that I cannot change everything in the frame. I have to depend on what's already happening and be invisible.
Good. You're going to work on this, but here's another thing I would think that you would like to talk about here. You don't put it in. See if this resonates for you. On a dramatic film, you are executing someone else's vision. You're bringing things to it. But in this film, you have to step up into the more of a director's role, and you have to take more responsibility in the end. If the other one, yes, you do your best, but if the film doesn't work, it's the director's fault. And here, but talk about that with collaborating with another person and the comfort of having a good collaborator who gives you like a mirror and a way of checking back, that sort of thing. This is so important. Let's wait for this point. But it's learning how to say these things. Basically you are becoming advertisement for yourself, but your film needs you to promote it. You are the only person who can talk about your film. It's like your child, right? Your child is having problems at school with the teacher. You need to step in and say to the teacher, no, he's really not like that. He has never bitten anybody before. This is the first time he ever bit. No, but you have to promote your film. Not promote, but protect your film.
This is very hard for me.
Yeah,
because actually
good.
I'm always behind the camera.
I know.
And
that's start with that.
Okay.
Start with that.
This is pretty hard for me to do the interview and to be in front of the camera actually now, because I'm always behind the camera and I never sit before the camera, and I'm not accustomed to promoting myself. And I always work with the director, where there's a director and there's a DP, and we have these roles. On this project, it's me and Sophia, and it's only the two of us. And we're doing this movie together. And part of making this movie is promoting the movie, thinking about the script, pitching it. And that's all a very hard job for me, because I'm absolutely not accustomed to doing anything of this. I'm accustomed to only thinking about I'm accustomed to think about the image and to listen to the director and to think how the director's thoughts and the idea of the movie, how to put it in an image, and not to think about the script, the whole script.
Okay, so this is the last question because they're going to start working. What is the biggest stretch that you will have to do to make this film successful? Where will you have to step up and develop new skills to make this film successful?
Well, for me, I think the most difficult part will be to start making a documentary movie, not a feature movie, because I'm accustomed to change everything in set, and I like putting lights, I like to change locations, I like to do beautiful images, and that's my work. And here I have to learn how to be an observer of the situation. So, and it will be interesting to work in a small team together with Sophia, and I hope that we will come together well, get along well.
I think so.
I think
Very
that's
good,
awful.
huh? Wow, they're very good. So you see,
Yeah.
now, this will get a lot easier.
No.
But this was a.
Я так и знала, что это будет Василий.
Tell me about your story, please.
You mean the story of the film?
Yeah, of course.
We are shooting a film together with my colleague Alexandra Rождественская. We are both from St. Petersburg and we are shooting the film in our region. It's about volunteer firefighters who are extinguishing fire around the Lake Ladoga and beyond it.
Okay. Why is it important to you, this story?
I will tell about my personal story, what attracts me the most. It's the connection to nature and environment. This is something which I'm researching all my life. And also this is related to the story of my family because I'm from the indigenous culture and the environmental issues are quite important for us.
And how do you plan to show this problem? I mean, problem of this lake, of this area?
At the moment, together with Sasha, we are interviewing many people who are connected to the story of the lake and the fires around the lake. At the moment, most of the story is focused on the volunteer firefighters who are amazing people who come from different backgrounds, and what connects them is the love to nature. And this is amazing, I think, that people come together across the problem and can do something together regardless of their descent, regardless of their profession, regardless of their background. So now we have a main protagonist, Natalia, who is the head of the organization of these volunteer firefighters, and who is helping us to tell the story and opening for us a new world, a new world, a new picture of the lake.
Okay, so good, right? I mean, you're comfortable, right? You don't have a problem doing this, right?
I am an artist, so.
Yeah, so you're used to talking about your work. It's for the other people who aren't. You know, you have to really feel this. This is very important that they get to know you in this. This is about you as well. So maybe some of these it's better if you're talking into the phone. You know, you have to really feel it. You have to try it amongst yourselves. What's better? Which really works? Maybe talking into the phone. I don't think this is good where you're doing yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Please tell a couple of words about yourself, your name, what's your profession?
My name is Ksyusha Mirnyak. I'm from Novosibirsk, Siberia. It's in Russia, in the middle of the country. I am a screenwriter and a director. Sorry, my English is not so good.
So, and you're planning to make a movie. What's your movie going to be about? Tell a little about your project.
Our movie in this program is going to be about young jazz musician. He is.
Sorry.
Please start again. Can you just start from that you are planning to make a movie and it's going to be about? Yes.
We are planning to make a movie about jazz musician. He is playing jazz in our native town, Novosibirsk. And the theme about this movie, the main theme, is about to leave or to stay, because it's a very common problem for people in Novosibirsk and little cities in Russia. They want bigger opportunities, and that's why they leave their own towns and go to the capital, to Moscow. But still, there are a lot of cute and awesome things inside for example, our city that how to say it, that keeps them, and that's why they don't leave their town. So we want to tell more about that, why they are staying and why maybe they should stay, besides the bigger opportunity that they might have.
What is your personal connection? Are you planning to leave Novosibirsk or stay in Novosibirsk?
That's always what I'm thinking about, because I love my town and I feel sorry for it, because
all money goes out of it. All money goes to the capital of our country, and that's why we have some problems there. But I love it. It's cute, and I have all my family there, so that's why I'm staying. But I'm always thinking about that. I want a better life, better environment around me, so that's why I would like to live someday.
Great. Okay.
Thank
Any-
Может, про меня? В смысле, представление, не знаю.
Hi, Nicole, please introduce yourself.
Hi, я посмотрела в камеру. Okay, hi, I'm Nicole Jayamacha. I'm a filmmaker and writer from Moscow. I am half Oirat and half Sinhalese, so Mendet and Ayubon as well.
You have interesting roots. Please, could you share with us a story how sorry. Could you please tell about your project?
Let's just try
Yeah,
this
yeah.
once. Talk into the camera for this, okay?
For what?
Talk into the camera for talking about your project. Don't talk. I just want to see what
Okay.
happens if it looks like that.
So speaking of my characters, it is a small group of girls who are scholars and activists. It is astonishing to me that people in these turbulent times, when some activists leave the country, still take action. So this group, they are organizing reading seminars, a conference, and they're willing to make their own laboratory on eco-criticism and environmentalism.
How are you connected to the story? Are you also active in your life?
Yeah, it is also part of my everyday life. Eco-activism is also a part of my everyday life. So I feel connected to the characters. And also the girls are trying to create a new language between activism, scholars, academy, and other people. And I think in times like this, it is very important to make meaningful connections and cooperation. So I feel that it is.
Well, you know, let's do it one more time. Just talking again into the camera. This time, talk to the side, but just say when you talk about I am active in eco-activism. Can you be more specific? What is your what sort of things have you done? Or what appeals to you the most? Which would you think are the most effective actions that you've seen?
You mean like what I did, or?
Yeah, what you did. Which gave you satisfaction? Which ones had an effect, do you think? Or which feel the best?
I'm not sure how is it connected to the project. I mean, how should I structure my answer?
Just talk about your own eco-activism. Don't even connect it to the project.
Okay. So me, myself, I have participated in eco clubs, which are made by enthusiasts mostly. And I've been really concerned for a long time about the topics like, I don't know, recyclables, for example. Even though Moscow is a big city, there are many problems related to that. And if you want to have recycle bins in your neighborhood, first of all, you should ask not regional government about it, but activists. And that's what I heard from Moscow city deputy, who said it to me also a few weeks ago, which is still surprising to me, like in a bad way. So I think it is important to support eco-activists and make their voices heard.
Okay, I'm going to just say one more thing here. I'm thinking that, you know, what I'm hearing in here, if you put it a little differently, you could say that, you know, even though protecting the planet and reversing climate change a huge problem, and exactly what governments should be doing. It's interesting that in so many cases, activists, individuals are doing more than the government is doing.
Yeah.
Something like, that's what I'm hearing this refined down to. Can you say it and put it in those terms?
Like shorter?
Yeah, shorter, but put it in those terms that even, you're saying this is a big, huge problem that the government should be dealing with, but very often you find that the individual activists are doing more than the government. They can move faster, they can, yeah.
I find it surprising that still, even though we almost all know about environmental problems and about climate change, it's still activists who take action. They are more flexible and they actually make change.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, good. Yeah. You 925 North Orange. Okay, here we go. 925 North Orange in Hollywood. Okay. So because of this, we use the aids. We use what's called peaking. You see these red lines? Now it only works on vertical. What it does is the camera, when something is out of focus, it becomes gray. If you have black right next to white, if you have dark next to light, the camera sees the pixels as the dark pixel of the light pixel. But if it's out of focus, it becomes gray. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't like gray. So what happens here, I'll show you here. Do you see on the vertical things, you see those red lines on her glasses?
Yes.
That's in focus. I don't have to think about it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. So all I do is when I put things in focus, but it only works on verticals. Now, do you see the hair?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see Luba's hair? Because it's vertical, it doesn't work on the horizontal. So if I do it on a diagonal, here, can you hold this? So same over here. No, turn it around, please. Can you hold it the way I gave it to you? Okay. No, just hold it for a second. Now look at these lines here. You see that it's only on the vertical lines. There's nothing on the horizontal lines. So that's what you can trust that. So I look at people's faces like, now I'm going to put it on, and it needs a certain amount of light to work if it's really dark. So I can see that everything's in focus from this here all the way to the back wall there because we're on a wide angle lens. So that's how you use this, and then you stop worrying. Okay? But it's hard to see on faces. So on faces, it's easier to see on the glasses. If someone, like if I didn't shave today, and I had dark and white and dark, it's white. It looks at white and black. So if I look at Vasily's shirt, I'll see nothing on the shirt, nothing on the shirt, but I'll see it where it goes against the white. Or if someone is wearing, did you notice? Here, if I look at. You see the vertical lines there? Yes, so that whole thing is red. Yeah. Okay?
Dark and white.
Yeah, so it's on his shirt there. If I turn the camera sideways here, I won't see anything there. Because it's only looking at verticals. It won't look at the horizontals. And also, if the camera's moving, it won't see it. It's only when it's stopped. Okay? Okay, so, all right. I could also say, or if you wanted to come out tonight. Or, if you were looking for some fun tonight, we will be filming at the Cinema Bar in Culver City, on Sepulveda, just north of Washington Place. Period. We'll be there from 8 p.m., until at least 10 or 10:30, period. The band goes on at 9. Okay. Maybe, I don't know that she'll come. I don't think she'll come, but just give her the opportunity.
Doing so many different kinds of projects, and we have so many different influences.
So when you saw this through the thing, this was all red. This was red, yeah. And this was red. This, everything vertical was red. But it's harder on the face because the face doesn't have straight lines. It has, that's why we could see it on Luba's, on her hair, right? And also what happens is, and this is a problem, it's much more of a problem with digital video than with original film. What happens is, the digital video sees, even if the background is out of focus, if it has vertical lines in it, or sharp edges, it will look more in focus than the face, even if the face is what you're in focus, because the face is round and it just doesn't feel as in focus. So, okay, anyway, no problems.
Our musical background as
so where were we here?
Okay.
It's because we have such wide influence.
Yeah. Okay. It's because all of us. Okay.
It's because we have such wide influence.
Yeah. Okay. It's because all of us come from doing so many different kinds of projects, and we have so many different influences in our musical background as players, as composers also, that the band then has so much diversity. Because we are not your parents or your grandparents' traditional gypsy jazz band. Just like, not to compare ourselves to Django, but analogous to his career, we also are evolving. And the material that we compose and the way that we arrange the more or less traditional gypsy jazz songbook and the kinds of other material like film songs that we bring into the band reflect that aspect of it. It's very eclectic.
Let's talk.
Thank goodness that sucked.
Just a minute. Let's talk about the first time you heard Django's music.
Does it never get focused?
No. Does it stick with you, or was it always there? You picked on the guy always being there because of his dad.
Right. I recall being exposed to Django very early on, probably because of living in various parts of the world, and my parents having somewhat eclectic tastes and being around people who also had eclectic tastes.
What's special about it?
The piece is called Chateau 20.
Okay, so this is
what's special about it.
Okay, we do want to keep this. Even we might want to use it, even though because he's talking about his piece now, right? So we'll keep this just to even if it's no good. We'll keep
the piece is called Chateau 22.
Oops.
The 22 refers to the year 2022, and that's a nod to the way that Django titled so many of his numbers. For instance, Swing 42 or Swing 48, meaning they were composed in 1942 and 1948. So at the risk of sounding presumptuous, I'm using it, is that it began life as a trailer, as a score for a trailer.
Well, I don't care about this, but right now I do want to make sure that we're in focus here. Let's just see real quick. Oh. And then real quick. There we go.
Oh, for the trailer was
Okay, so we can use that for sure.
So then when I adapted it to become a
okay,
piece.
good, we're good. We're covered. Okay.
Piece that Hot Club of Los Angeles would do, I just simply turned it in French and put the year on. And then as far as the piece itself, it's also kind of a nod to a lot of what goes on in gypsy jazz, harmonically and melodically. And then at the end I decided that I wanted something that sounded like a traditional rousing type of dance, which is why we suddenly stop, make it very slow, and then we start to pick up and accelerate, like maybe some kind of wedding sort of song.
Okay, we're not, I don't really like this, but we're going to keep it because we need
What do
it.
you do in order to keep this thing going? What's your, I don't want to say your day job, but what do you do in order to, in the Hot Club of Los Angeles?
Well, well, fortunately, we've worked really hard on this, and we actually.
We got a plane.
I'm just cleaning. I'm cleaning as we go along, so we don't have to wait. Oops.
Well, Hot Club of Los Angeles is fortunate in that we do have this regular residency, and we do earn money from that, and we also do a lot of other types of gigs, some corporate things, weddings, various events, concerts, and then all of us being sidemen and session players, we make living music in our works, and so I mean it is a labor of love, that's for sure, and we devote a certain amount of what we earn from it, and we put that into things like recording and PR, and we promote the band like craziness. What's challenging about anything long term is just keeping it just with.
Okay, let's see, maybe this is better.
What's challenging about anything long term is just keeping the excitement, keeping it fresh. And that's what I really value about this, is that, at least for me, no matter what kind of shape I'm in, when I get up on stage with these 4 other guys, it always winds up being exciting in some way, shape, or form. And we always bring something fun to the night or the event, whatever it is that we're doing or recording, and that keeps it going for me at any rate.
Okay, it's long, but we'll keep that. All right, so let's talk about a couple other things here, yeah? That are going on that I like, I don't like, whatever. Hang on, I want to change this. I made a little boo-boo here. Not a big boo-boo, but just let's get this back into enable so that we can hear it. Okay, so let's bring him together. This is all this is Carl. Whoa, Carl.
Gypsy jazz.
Okay, right, we have that.
And of course, the origins of gypsy jazz.
Okay, I'm going to pull these all together, but then at this point, let's watch. We'll watch Jim, and after Jim, we're going to step away from this. Okay, it's very good to step away from it a little bit, just so that you don't get too you can stay fresh with it. Okay.
Title for the trip.
Okay. We're gonna go do something else after we do Jim, and then we'll come back and it'll be like we'll have fresh ears. It'll be like taking a break. Oops. Why did that do that? There we go. Okay, so here's Jim.
You could swim around.
All right. So this here, that was Oleg. All right, this here, I'm gonna just, because there's a lot of it, I'm gonna do a very quick color correction on it first, so I don't have to do it later. I'll just do the whole thing now. It's a little too bright, right? So let's bring down this a little bit. Bring this down. It's a little too green also, so we'll take a little bit of green out of it on his face. Okay, and I think that looks better to me. Well, I can probably make it even a little bit darker. Let's see what else. Let's take the highlights down a little bit, but then do this. Take this down a little bit more. Put some more snap in it. Okay, how's that look?
The audience has been terrific. We have people that come.
Okay, so that looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Right. That way, with all the little cuts, we don't have to fix them all.
Every week, we have people that stop by. We have people that there's a couple that fly every winter from Minnesota to come here every Monday.
Now this is that. What is that?
It's to come to the cinema.
That's his radio mic.
So our relationship with the audience is.
Let's bring that up a little bit more. Which one was it? Is it this one? What's this one?
They want to listen. They want to go on this sort of ride with us every week. It's something. It's such an off night, Monday night, but it brings us.
So let's go to the beginning.
You could swim around.
So I'm not even going to start until I see him start talking. I know everything before that. I'm just trying to make this as fast as
The hot
possible.
clip of Los Angeles started. There's simply a Facebook post. A friend. The hot clip of Los Angeles started. There's simply a Facebook post. A friend of mine, who's a musician, his name is Jesse, put up, hey, I want to give you
It's not you. Who was it this time?
But I don't know who